Hello, everybody. I thought I would take a minute to talk about the syllabus for this class. I realize that I haven't met a lot of you yet, so I'm looking forward to meeting you here in a couple of weeks. But this class serves as the prerequisite course for all other um, all other ag pathways. So a pathway is basic ag plus a combination of pretty much any other two classes together. I think the only one that won't pair with anything else besides Ag Mech 1 is Ag Mech 2. But other than that, I think you can take pretty much any combination and it'll get you a pathway. We are going to hit on a variety of topics this semester, everywhere from agricultural commodities to employment skills, to animal science, plant science, forestry and wildlife, food systems, and a little bit of everything in between. We'll spend about 2 weeks on every topic. So if you're not thrilled with what we're talking about, just hold tight and we will move on to something hopefully that piques your interest a little bit more in just a couple of weeks. If you haven't ever taken an ag class before, know that some of the things I have you do are to fulfill this thing called the three-circle model of ag education, which includes classroom instruction, SAEs or supervised agricultural experience programs, and the FFA. And so those things kind of work together to collectively give you a total program experience within ag education. And we'll talk more about that next week when we start talking about the FFA. But just know that some of the things that I have you do in the grades that I have in the grade book are to help fulfill kind of those three things. Yeah. As far as grading goes, things that we do in class every day are going to be worth the most in the grade book. I'm going to tell you right now that you can have a fabulous SAE program. You can do all the leadership points in the world, but if you don't do a darn thing in class all semester, you're not going to pass. That's just how that's going to go. Because what we do in class is going to be worth the most in the grade book. That's just kind of downright how that's going to go. So your participation in class, your projects that we do, labs that we do, presentations that you give, discussions that we may have are going to be worth 30% of your grade. You will have a handful of tests in this class about every 4 to 5 weeks, give or take. I try not to pile too many in, but not wait too long in between them either. So about once a month is what you can expect. Your test will be cumulative, meaning that you'll have questions from previous units on each test. And I do that because your SAE serves as your final exam. So we won't have like a 100 question final exam in here. It'll be your SAE project. I'll get asked that question 30 times this semester, but just know that your SAE program is your final exam. Now, that being said, you can't exempt your SAE, but I won't make you come to the final exam days because we will be wrapped up with our SAE program a couple of days before final exams begin. So that's kind of the give and take there. One of the things you'll notice when I do go back to school is I am out a lot for a variety of reasons. I also serve as the school's FFA advisor, and so that responsibility requires me to be away from the classroom pretty often to serve my students and to supervise them on field trips and what have you. So I do miss a lot of school, unfortunately. So I'll get back and I'll be around for most of September, and then I'll be gone a lot in October, and so on and so forth. But that being said, I do leave you sub work. Typically, it's not anything different than what I would leave you or have you do while I'm at school. But if for whatever reason you decide that you're not going to do it while I'm gone, you're not going to be able to make it up, which is really unfortunate because it's worth 20% of your grade. So I hope that you will take that in consideration when you decide not to do work when I'm not there. We'll talk about the SAE and the leadership points here in a minute. As far as what you need for my class, bring a Chromebook with you every day. If it's not charged, bring your charger. I have plenty of outlets in my room that you're always welcome to plug into. If you have a pair of earbuds or headphones that are compatible with your Chromebook, that would be awesome if you could bring those to class. I'm going to try and get some that you could borrow for this class. I also ask that towards the end of the semester, so this is not a need right now, probably about after we get back from Thanksgiving break, this is going to be on your mind. I do ask you bring in a trifold board At the end of the semester, for your SAE project, we do this little agri-science fair. And so you'll put together what you've done all semester in your SAE on this trifold, and then we'll present in kind of like this science fair fashion. So we'll set up all of our trifolds in the commons area, at the lunchroom tables, and people will come by and talk to you about your project. We do it all at once. It has worked out really great the last couple of years, and every student that I seem to talk to really likes or prefers to do it that way because you're talking all at once. So not all the focus is on you. Um, I also am required by the district to charge you $20 FFA dues to help cover the cost of our membership dues as a chapter. Mr. Collins and I also do throw in a chapter shirt. We can guarantee that you'll get a chapter shirt by August 31st if you pay your FFA dues. I can't guarantee you'll get one after that because we normally order the shirts the 1st of September. We typically order a couple of extras, but if you want a t-shirt, make sure to pay your dues by the end of the month. You are always welcome, though, to pay your dues the rest of the semester. I just can't guarantee that you'll get a t-shirt then. If you don't pay your dues by the end of the semester, then I submit oh gosh, what it's called? A debt to the media center, which will be on your record until you graduate. So you won't be able to graduate until you pay those dues. So you might as well just pay them now. As far as how this classroom is going to operate, I do ask that you are respectful to one another, to myself, to things that don't belong to you. If you check out the front of the room, there's a set of drawers up there that have supplies that you are always welcome to: pencils, colored pencils, markers, scissors, glue sticks, what have you. Anything that you may need is probably in there. So before you come ask me for it, check there first. I do have stuff to replace all of that stuff as well. So if something is getting low or you can't find something, let me know and I will put it out for you. Please follow directions. I try and leave pretty explicit directions, both verbally and in words, like written on the assignments that I give you. So if you have questions, please read the directions before you come ask me. I don't love repeating the same answers to things that I have just answered because you were not paying attention. I do have really high expectations for you and how you behave and what kind of work that you give me. I am completely aware that all of you are at very different capability levels, at different learning levels, at different learning speeds, and that's totally okay. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But I do expect you to give me your very best every day. Meaning that your very best is going to be different than what your neighbor's very best is, and that's okay. But I do want you to contribute and try hard. Be responsible. For whatever reason, I have the most problem with in basic ag. You guys love to just get up and like wander around the room when I'm speaking, and that's not cool. I don't know why, for whatever reason, you feel like you can get away with it in my class compared to other classes. Maybe it's just my personality, but stay seated. Raise your hand before you want to speak. Come to class prepared to learn and do something every day in class. There is not an occasion almost ever that you're going to come to class and we're not going to do anything. We will have some days that you'll be able to make up work. So if you're done with your work, there's a good chance that you won't have anything new to do. But I do ask that you come ready to do something every day in class. Clean up after yourself. I realize that you're going to go to lunch after this class, so you're probably starving like I am normally. I also snack in class, and that's okay. But throw away your trash. I have 3 other human beings that I have to pick up after in my own home. I don't love having to pick up after my 70 students that I teach every day as well. So leave the room better than you found it. Be the bigger person and pick up that piece of trash that doesn't belong to you. If my 3-year-old can pick up after herself, then so can you. Speak appropriately to one another and to myself. I don't appreciate hearing inappropriate language in my classroom, and it won't be tolerated. It will get you a detention very quickly after school. If that becomes a problem, then I'll just refer you to the office. That's how that is going to go. Practice etiquette. As far as cell phones go, if you've read the handbook this semester, then you'd know that your phone needs to be put away at all times. I don't want to see it. I know that emergencies come up, but you shouldn't be texting your mama and daddy during school. That's crazy. They know that you're in school. Keep your headphones put away. I don't want you to have your AirPods in while I am teaching a lesson. That is crazy to me. I don't mind at all if you listen to music while you should be working on some assignment that I've given you after I've given the directions. That won't bother me at all. I hope that you do that. I love listening to music while I work, but I don't want you to be listening to music while somebody is up at the front of the room talking. That is extremely rude. Um, be present in class. I don't want you leaving class like multiple times a day for whatever reason. So one person's going to be allowed out to use the restroom or get water. If the vending machines are turned on at all, you'll be allowed one person at a time to go visit those during the first or last 10 minutes of class or during our break that we take in the middle of class some days. Be at school, please. Be at school and try to be on time to school. I know that's sometimes out of your control, but be on time to school. Um, it's really important and really easy for you to stay on top of your schoolwork if you're at school every day. You can see the attendance policy there is going to be the same as what it is in the handbook. As far as making up work, if you are not at school for whatever reason, you have one day plus the number of days that you missed to make up that work. I am very flexible with you turning in assignments, and we'll talk about that as the semester goes on. But just know that it's going to be your responsibility to make up that work. Everything's going to be posted on Canvas. You will know exactly what you missed because it'll be there. You can always come ask me. Um, I won't make you make up the labs and stuff because sometimes that can just be more work on my part. But know that any other type of work is going to be your responsibility to take care of. As far as the final exam exemption policy goes, I just kind of talked about it. But you can't exempt your SAE project because it's, the biggest part of your grade. But you won't have to be here on final exam day because we'll be done by that Tuesday before final exams start, meaning that this class won't count against you for one of your exemptions. So that's kind of the give and take that I give you with that. Your SAE program. So we are going to do an agri-science project this semester for your SAE. If you took ag in middle school at OCMS, then Dr. Chapman does the same thing with his classes as I do. Now, I will say that the expectations change a little bit, so don't think you can get away with turning in your 8th grade agri-science project to me. I will know. I will find out. I've done it before. But we're going to do an agri-science fair project, which is sort of like a science fair project, but just know that your project topic is going to be answering some sort of question. Next Friday, we're going to be picking out what topics that we're going to do, and that's all we're going to do all class period. So if you need a full 90 minutes to come up with what you're going to do, then please take it. We'll talk more about kind of what those expectations are going to look like, but just know that you need 20 hours invested. We will work a lot on these agri-science projects in class. I think you'll get probably about 15 or 16 hours of in-class hours that you're supposed to be working on these things. So take advantage of that when you are given the opportunity. I want you to take 6 pictures along the way. I want you to be in those pictures as proof to me that you completed these projects yourself. We will talk about what those pictures look like if you are doing more of a research-based project, but just know that that is a requirement. You will complete a written, kind of portion to this that will be the bulk of what you turn into me, that basically explains in written words what you did for your project, what you learned, previous research that's been done on your topic, and so on and so forth. And then at the end of the semester, like I said, we'll present these using a trifold. These will be due on December 9th. So you could start your project today if you wanted to. You have all the resources provided to you to help you understand what the expectations are. We will pick out our topics together next Friday in class, but if you already have an idea of what you want to do, you're welcome to get started this afternoon if you want. I don't expect you to be doing that, but just know that you have that capability. So don't come to me at the end of the semester and tell me you didn't have enough time to work on this, because you've had from August 3rd until December 9th to do this. Leadership points. So this is a way that I kind of work towards that 3-circle model component of the FFA into our classes, I have you earn leadership points. And you can do this by participating in the FFA. I do have you pay dues, but you are not required to participate in the FFA past that. I realize that this organization is not for everybody. You may have other interests, other responsibilities after school, and that's okay. But I do want you to contribute to the community. And so some of the ways you can earn leadership points are by getting involved in our school. So school spirit days, bringing in cans during Canathon, participating in Secret Santa, I don't know, all kinds of other things. Or you can do community service projects. Those can be offered, through a church, through a community group, just on your own, like serving at the animal shelter or packing lunches for the Oconee Resource Council. Whatever those might be, I will have a list for you here pretty soon of what those opportunities look like and how you can earn those points. I normally do put in an extra 100 points. So to get your 100% credit, you'll have to earn 300 leadership points. And I will outline kind of what those points look like and how you can earn them and all that stuff. But I do put in the grade book up to 100 extra credit points for your leadership points. So I hope that you take advantage of that. If you have questions about that, let me know. But I will explain those a little bit more in depth when I have the handout for you kind of finalized. I'm working on changing a couple of things. If you're interested in showing a livestock species like a cow, either beef or dairy, pigs, goats, or sheep, please go have a conversation with Mr. Collins like ASAP. Only because if I return to school and you decide then, it may be a little too late to get your animal for this semester. You can always do it next semester. But if you wanted to get involved in that in the fall, go have a chat with Mr. Collins like today or when, get your parents' permission. But that opportunity is available to you. We do have a school livestock barn that you could keep your livestock at if you don't have the facilities at home or another place you could keep them. That is on a first come first served basis as far as like your need is. So if that's something you're interested in, that option is available to you. That should be pretty much it. I do ask that you fill out this syllabus agreement form. This has been sent to everyone's parents and is up on Canvas so you can access. This will be one of the first grades in here, basically just saying that you listened or you've reviewed the syllabus, you agree with what it says, so on and so forth. You can join our class reminds. So I've got a remind for all of my classes, for each of my classes, and for the Oconee FFA that I'm going to try and be vigilant about putting things on. So I hope that you will take advantage of that. You can also pay your FFA dues, like I said, and cash or check to Mr. Collins until I get back to school, or you can use this online payment option that's provided here, or it can be found on the school website. You can also join our or follow us on social media, our FFA chapter. I do think that gets you some leadership points. But those options are available to you. Should you have any questions, feel free to send me an email. If you need an immediate answer to something, Mr. Collins is pretty familiar with how my classroom operates and can answer a lot of questions for you. But if you have any, thing that you need until then just shoot me an email, send me a message on Canvas, but we'll be in touch. Bye, guys.